Alright, hello and welcome back to the Creator's Garden. I am Hikari Harpy, and today I thought I'd like to answer some questions such as, where exactly am I? Why am I a harpy? And why is the world of Sanctus right outside my window? So I figured, while I was inking and coloring some more outfit designs for myself and maybe a few other things, as well as taking any questions and comments, I thought it would be fun to get into the lore of, like, exactly what I am. So, hello, VOD watchers, and to everyone who has arrived first in chat. Yes, welcome, Haruo. It was wonderful to see you again. But yes, so without further ado, I will go ahead and switch over to the main camera. Also, just a quick check to ask if the audio mixing is all good, that you can hear both the music and myself without the music drowning me out. But yes, here we are. My pre-planned sketches for today's stream. First off, we have my current wardrobe. As you can half see it. It's supposed to be a dress, so I figured I'd show off the entire thing in all its cute glory. And you might not know this about me, but I can wield a weapon if I am led to that sort of thing, but I don't usually. But I thought it'd be fun to design my armor anyways. I also have a blank slate on the off chance that anyone has any recommendations for what they'd like to see me wear. And then we have these little things down here. So, as of right now, due to reasons that I'll get to shortly in this stream, that the Creator's Garden is a bit barren of most life in general. So I thought maybe I should start populating it with some adorable little companions. Or who knows, maybe these will just be alt forms for myself. Which, once again, I will get to in a bit. So without further ado, I guess I'll go ahead and get started. So, a long time ago, the Creator's Garden wasn't just home to myself. There were others like me. Others who could create whole entire worlds on a whim. And, you know, it was all fairly peaceful. We all chose roles for ourselves. And, perhaps this was a little presumptuous of me back in the day, but I took the title of princess. Now, as much as that a title might entail, I didn't have so much of the pampering and much more of the bureaucracy and a lot of paperwork, figuring out disputes, that sort of thing. You know, it's like dealing with a bunch of children playing in the sandbox and just trying to tell one another, hey, let's all try to get along. We can all play in the sandbox. Just, you know, so long as we behave ourselves. But, things didn't always stay that way, and eventually The creator's garden, our world, was found by demons. They came on a sort of floating giant asteroid of sorts, and they destroyed everything, including almost all the creators. As far as I know, I'm the only one left. So, that's why I'm here. And I decided that I didn't want any other world to endure the same devastation that the Creator's Garden did, so that's why I created Sanctus. It's supposed to be a safe haven from the demon realm. They're not supposed to be able to see it, so that way they could just harmlessly pass by without actually coming around to destroy it like they did my home. I'm not completely sure how safe Sanctus is now, though, but I'm still trying to keep an eye on it and hope for the best. Self-inserts are always fun. Fun to have many. OC-wise, all I have is my mascot for the online store, of course. Lord, don't be crazy. Indeed it is. It's not the most glamorous life to be the only solitary creator in this garden, but that's why I hope to make this place a little bit livelier as the time goes on. But yes, outside of me dumping about my tragic past. Oh, you want more lore? Question: why this form? Why were you just born this way, or did you pick it? I chose it actually. Um, I suppose you could say there were two things that I was drawn to. I like birds and I like monkeys. But I didn't particularly want to be a flying monkey, so I decided that instead I would have sort of a monkey's tail with a feathery tip at the end. Everything else, though, I can't help it. I like my bird like features, so that's why I have the talons, the wings, and of course the beak and the feathery ear things. For my previous form, well, I meant the reds, blacks, and golds. They are some of my favorite color schemes to use for things, but I thought since I was in front of an audience, I'd try to look a little bit more approachable. But it is a form that I can shapeshift out of. I do have that ability. But on the off chance you also might be wondering, why are the demons such a threat? How did they destroy a race of supposed demigods who could create worlds on a whim? And that is because demons are essentially living kryptonite to us. If they are too close to us, if they are within range, we are essentially powerless. Think of it as like reducing us to mere humans at that point. And mere humans versus a menagerie of demons, plus whatever monstrous creations that they made. Never a good combination. Not to mention the source of all their power, the void, which essentially eats up pretty much anything. It's like a magical black hole of sorts. That sort of power is what just left my world a bit desolate, I suppose. And like I said, as far as I know, I'm the only one who survived through, I suppose it could be read as cowardice. Well, but at the same time, what else is one supposed to do, you know? But I think that's enough doom and gloom talk for now. On the brighter side, things seem to be doing well in the world of Sanctus, at least as far as I can tell. Many beings there are thriving and are able to live out their new lives in, I guess you could say, relative peace. Meanwhile, here in the Creator's Garden, it's been a little bit on the warm side. But I suppose that's just another excuse to wear some nice summer clothing, you know? Hence my current outfit. But yes, feel free to tell me about your creations and what you've been doing with those. What they look like, what their personality is like, any powers if they have any, or abilities in general, I suppose. Perhaps they're just really good at puzzles, or they watch a lot of manga and or I should say read a lot of manga and watch a lot of anime. Hello, welcome in, Mr. Repairman. Nice to see you here again. For OCs, my main ones are for the webcomic Dungeon Smalls. I admit they've been retooled characters that I once played in tabletop RPG. Plet used to be more lol random. There is no judgment here. A lot of the characters that are in Sanctus and the Snapdragon Club comic in general are also refurbished OCs. I still have the cartoon Fourth Wall Repairman and his assistant, Marie, living in my brain. Just two cartoon blogs keeping things stable. Do not get me started on fan characters. Except I very much would like you to get started. please let us know. And that goes for anyone in the comments watching the VOD later on. Feel free to tell us about your OCs and self-inserts. Who you pair them up with. No judgment. Cause goodness, I have plenty of OCs that I shamelessly shipped with all sorts of characters back in the day. We talking about fan characters? We gotta start talking about fan characters. Yes, please feel free talking about fan characters. Let me know what sort of media you guys are into and all the sorts of characters you made just to enjoy the world. Or just to hang out more with your favorite character. I am rare in Splatoon because my fan agents paired are 4 and 8, Cull and Tenna, respectively. A meat graffiti artist with an icy ex-soldier. Ooh. Loved how many different agent OCs are there. Admittedly, I don't know too much about Splatoon in general. All I know is maybe the broad strokes of the type of world that it's supposed to be and some of the characters. I know Callie and Marie were like some of the main idols before what was it, Marina and Pearl came on the scene. And I believe Totokeke or KK Cider also performed at one of their concerts, I think? Or was it the other way around? My other two are Soy, Agent 3, a bit of a loud woman child, and Alo, Neo, Agent 3, kind-hearted, snobby runaway. KK Slider was the opening. Ah, yes. Yeah, I saw the video for that, and honestly, made me wish I was there. Just because, you know, I think it's like just one of those Animal Crossing things that I wish I could experience where I'm at. I would want to go to a KK Slider concert, and I would like to have a hot drink at the Roost. I wouldn't have coffee though. I just I don't think I have the taste buds for coffee. But I would probably like to have a hot chocolate. That I could do. Speaking of OCs, Castle Crashers is coming out with a DLC where you can draw your own characters for it. They released the sheet so we can get started. It's called Painter Boss Paradise. Oh, that's lovely. And Alistair, welcome back. We missed you. We're talking about fan characters and OCs if you want to join in the conversation. That includes fan characters and all sorts. Love coffee, but there are more better tasting hot cocos out in the world. I know for the holidays I've had my usual is to get a hot cocoa with whipped cream and then add a candy cane inside to let it slowly melt and add mint flavor into it. Ugh. Sorry to hear about the bad news, Alistair. I hope at least being here helps to distract from things. And if you're not up for chatting, that's alright too. Feel free to lurk. But yes, as I've mentioned before, many of my Snapdragon Club characters actually started out as fan characters. So if anyone has any that they're curious about, I can start off on that. Otherwise, I suppose, you know, you can just say streamer's choice. Bakchi, or who do I think is the most blatantly pulled from something else? Can't tell, so don't worry. um, let's see. I will get to Bakshi in a moment because he's actually very much original. I guess he's similar in origin to your Dungeon Smalls characters, because he also started out in a sort of tabletop setting. Not precisely D&D, it was some other, like, free module that had, like, insectoid people and lizard people and other such things. But, I think the one who is most blatant would be Mac. He's he's very much based off of Macavity from Cats the Musical. And yeah, he's basically like an AU version of... What if Macavity was like a lot more charismatic and also reformed? Like, he stopped doing crime and decided, you know what, I'm going to use my powers for good. Not to mention, Mac is a lot more chill, but he is very smart. There is a lot of brains in that feline. Yeah, so I'm glad that one wasn't too obvious. As for other fan characters, I guess while I'm on the subject of Cats the Musical, I mentioned this in my making of Oren Kingsley video, I believe, that she is actually a human detective that was an OC for use in the Cats the Musical universe. Yeah. But as for other OCs, I had Farmhand. She went by another name. And she was an OC for Homestar Runner, actually. Oh, you read him as more Incineroar in Alba personality. That's very fair. His physique has definitely gotten a little bit wider. Which I'm glad I did, by the way. I really wanted to branch out into more physiques, you know. I didn't want to have same face syndrome. I didn't want to have same physique syndrome, you know. Yes, big cat characters are fun, yes. Let's see. Who else? I can't say much about Akasi because he's actually an original character for Sanctus, so he doesn't have nearly as big a backstory as everyone else. Tometress. I don't... maybe I shouldn't talk about her since I don't have something. She's not really a part of the comics. I should start with the comic characters. Crystal. Yes, Crystal in the Hunter's Tale comic. Here's a deep cut. She was actually a fan character I made for the Scary Godmother setting. I know that one's a little bit out there. I wonder how many people in the audience remember Scary Godmother, whether they've seen the comics or only watched the movies on Cartoon Network there. And I'm going to leave this one uninked because this one is essentially a blank slate. If anyone has any outfits they'd like to see me drawn in, feel free to leave some suggestions in the chat. But in the meantime, I will go ahead and start erasing those pencil lines and getting to work on the colors. Also, you might have noticed, I do have my tail back. I'm using a brand new software to put all my features back together. So now, instead of having to open multiple things, I can just open the one thing and that will be enough. So hopefully the motions are dynamic enough for the time being. I'm still trying to get used to this new software. Scary Godmother was great. cyber like 2010s, cyberkinetic characters. I don't know if that's the right term for the outfit. You know, to be quite honest, if you're talking about the armor, I have no idea what I was going with this. I just started putting a whole bunch of angular lines and hoped for the best. But I can see how it can read as cyber or cyberkinetic. Once had two Toontown Cog department concepts while I was playing Corporate Clash, crime bots, white collar crime, like purgers and racketeers, and clout bots, things like influencer. That's adorable. I do remember Toontown Online. I only played it for like a little bit, but I really did like the concept of it. Was tempted to say a three-piece suit for the outfit. I mean, if that's your suggestion, we can have that considered. And also, if that is who I think it is, sending hearts, thank you for stopping by and hope you enjoy the stream. Real agreed. Angular armor looks great though. Thank you. I'm just wondering, can I... Ooh. So there are a couple of things in the chat that I didn't realize I had powers to do. I can start a poll, and I'm wondering what start Q&A. I'm just going to test this out, just to test out the feature. Oh, I see. I think these questions are for if I had a big audience. Ah. Well, I don't need that for now. But yes, I think once I have more suggestions, I'll start a poll. Otherwise, if no one else has any other suggestions, I will start drawing the three-piece suit on that final one. We'll see what happens by the time I'm done coloring. Let's see. Maybe I'll use this for shading. I've seen a lot of PNG avatars, but your own one really does catch my attention, which is why I'm now a regular here. Aw, thank you. I'm glad that you like the design of my current form. I mean, I like it too, that's why I made it this way. And it's all traditionally drawn, so there is that. All I did was draw it just like how you see now. Pencil, ink, color with the alcohol markers, and then scan it in and put the pieces together. Art block be hitting hard. Yes, I very much understand that too. Like, for instance, the current comic I'm working on, it's like I still vaguely know what I want to do with it. I just, I'm still having trouble getting the specifics of the storytelling down. Because I have to keep in mind what the audience knows versus what I know. And what I want to slowly drip feed and convey to the audience over the course of the story. You know? Granted, it's not going to be a super long story or even that complex of a story. But it's still something I want to keep in mind. So that hopefully I will be able to grow as a storyteller. Also, as you can see in my full body of my outfit, I don't tend to wear shoes, mostly because I like having use of my talons, so no shoes for me. The only exception here is that here I'm kind of doing a Scrooge McDuck thing where there is like a cloth type thing in the midsection of the foot, but otherwise the talons are left out. Same for over here, actually. And as you may have saw originally, my past outfit also had black gloves, just so it could easier coincide with the main camera, but I don't know. I like showing off the talons, so I figured it would be fine. I'd still get the point across. Yeah, best thing to do is to step away for a while, then come back. That's generally what I've done when it comes to my artistic projects, yes. because sometimes you just need a breath of fresh air, you know, do some other things, get those creative juices flowing in other areas, and then come back and look at things with a, you know, fresh pair of eyes. Silly thought for the outfit suggestion. Spring lock. Oh my goodness. I become the next purple guy. I feel like if I did a spring lock suit, though, I feel like it would be close to looking like Cosmo, Stipendium's character. Just because of the bird-like features. I really love their design for Cosmo. I think they're absolutely amazing. And the same goes for like their recent video as well, for the Amazing Digital Circus video that they did. That one was really good. Oops. Tiny mistake in coloring there, but that's alright. Just wanted to say this, by the way. Don't really give away personal details. You can use my real name, Alfie, if you want. Unless calling me Alistair is easier for you. It's your decision. If you prefer me calling you Alfie, I'll call you Alfie. I only call you Alistair because that's how it shows up in the chat. That's why I call you what I call you, because I can only see how it shows up. That's why I call Fourth Wall Repairman Mr. Repairman. It shows up as FWRP, but I know Mr. Repairman from Tumblr, so that's how I know that's Fourth Wall Repairman. And Haruo is Haruo. Haruo Ida, yeah. But yeah, just let me know how you prefer to be called and I will call you that. But yes, please be careful with personal details. You didn't need to tell me that that was your real name or anything, so. Everyone be careful out there. Because I don't know if you realize it, but the chat does show up on the video as well, so, you know, be conscious of what you decide to let stay on the internet forever, you know? I know you guys are chill, but not everyone is chill. And we have to be conscious of any passersby who may step in. Not everyone knows everyone here. Still, I'm glad you guys are being nice and chill in the chat. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate you all being here. true though. No bad vibes. And very chill. Okay, okay. I get it. I'm sorry if I sound a little naggy. I just want you guys to be safe in the chat, alright? That's a very sad sound indeed. The sound of a dying marker. I only just recently ordered a new, more yellow and brown ink. I think I am also low on purples and pinks now, so that's going to be a challenge. I understand that this is a slightly different outfit from what I'm currently wearing, but I forget things sometimes. That's why I tend to keep my outfits and character designs fairly simple, because otherwise I forget them. So there's the full body of this one. Rip worst sound because it's pure sadness. It sounds like a hamster. No song sadder than the hamster dance. I have so many dead markers now that I need refills for. Oh, rats. Rats are cute too. It's a shame that they're considered pests in some parts of the world. At least ones for like this marker. I know I still have ink for this one. Miss convenience stores and subways. I'm gonna be honest. As much as I like the visuals of an idyllic life in the countryside, I think I too would prefer the city. After all, I think the city is where it's easiest to do stuff like this and chat with people like you guys. Alright. I think the armored version is complete. Oh, hello. Welcome, Toxic. Art looks cool. Thank you very much. I've just been doing some alternate outfit designs for myself. And we are taking potential suggestions for my final outfit. Currently, the only suggestion that's been put out is a 3-piece suit, so if you have any that you'd like to throw out there as a potential choice, feel free to do so. And also, we do have a prompt of the day up at the top of the chat. if you have any OCs, self-inserts, or fan characters that you'd like to talk about, or if you just have a favorite character that you'd like to mention from whatever it is, feel free to mention that too. I like bugs. If they get near my face, I'm slapping them. I'm sorry to say, I really do not want bugs near me as well. Nothing against them, but they would eat me alive. Reminds you of Xenoblade? Honestly, when I was deciding on the fly what colors I wanted to do this, I was starting to see a bit of She-Ra in there, honestly. I don't think I've given myself like mostly white armor with the warm shading before, so I kind of like that I went for that, honestly. It feels a little bit more cohesive. So that way the reds and yellows can stay as accents. A Vocaloid style. So we're thinking almost like a schoolgirl outfit with headphones type of thing. Well, just to give a little bit more time for more suggestions to come in, I'm going to go ahead and decide some colors for these little guys, who I'm still thinking could be potential new little critters that might be bouncing around the creative's garden at some point. We'll see. Sounds cool, not gonna lie. Well, I guess there's two suggestions now. I would I'm not I admit I'm not too versed in Vocaloid, so I would need to look up Miku Append. If you don't mind hearing some clickety clack in the moment, I can look that up really quick. I mean, to be quite honest, the images I'm seeing for Miko Append is more or less what I had in mind. It like Miku's outfit very much looks very schoolgirl to me. I guess it's sort of the skirt and the formal looking top And then I see the sleeves and the headset on her head. But yes, that can be an option. We can. So we'll have Vocaloid as an option and 3-piece as an option. I actually don't mind these. So who knows? Maybe you'll see these little guys in some future stream. Although I think what I would really like is to have them bouncing around. That would be nice. I wonder if I can get that to work. Well, that's more dabbling and experimentation for me to worry about later on. Oh, Toxic, you talked about an OC? Basically inspired by some characters from games. She's basically a captain searching for treasure to put food on her table and feed her child. Aww. She's still a work in progress. Yeah, I definitely understand that. I think I have a number of characters who are a work in progress. Even the Hikari Harpy character has been a work in progress for a little bit. But, you know, things take time, and I'm sure you'll have a great story by the end of it. It sounds like a decent foundation, though. Everyone I meet now has an OC. Can't think of making one. Well, you know, self-inserts are also a thing, so you can always just have, like, yourself, but whatever, like, characteristics you like to add. Maybe in a different world you're a super detective, or maybe you'll have flight powers. Who knows? Whatever you'd like. You compare yourself with Alistair. No judging. I like to just think whatever is cool onto a piece of paper and then make it into a character. Sometimes that is a way, and, you know, honestly, characters can come from anywhere. Like, literally anywhere. Like, I've talked about a few of my Snapdragon Club characters' origins earlier in the stream. The two Fae, Dreamwalker and Shade, their designs actually literally came to me in dreams. So, you know, they've been since refined since their earlier iterations that I dreamt about, but that's essentially where they came from. And then a lot of them are also like fan characters that have been refurbished. And some of them are just original characters that were used for various things like tabletop and whatnot. And without them having, you know, any more stories to do, I decided to put them into Sanctus. Because I think that's the thing, meta-wise, as to why I made Sanctus, is that I made a lot of characters throughout the years, and I didn't like the idea of, like, seeing them just rot away, not being used. Because I look back at old drawings and be like, you know, I could really just turn this into a new character. That there's a good solid idea in here, there's a good foundation for something, and I don't like the idea of just like letting it sit there in a folder or binder somewhere tucked away, never to be seen again. So that's why more or less Sanctus is like a kitchen sink for just about any OC to reside in. Too hyperfixated on my self-insert. I mean, hyperfixations are a blessing and a curse, you know. Dreams have the best OCs. Need to rework on old character of mine. I feel the same way, but I did it and I got sad. Aww. But as promised, the coloring is done, so I will start that poll. We only have 2 options, so should be a fast one. So I will start the poll. Alright, so whoever's here in chat, go ahead and have a vote. As soon as we have a majority, I will end the poll. Oh, wow. A unanimous vote for Vocaloid. Okay, then. I heard you loud and clear. Alrighty then. Very well. Vocaloid it is. It is a Vocaloid sweep, yes. Vocaloid sweep. Alright. Now, I have to figure out how in the world to draw this. Of all the things I thought I would be drawing on myself today, Vocaloid was not expected. Let me just take a look at the references again. Okay. So, I'll just try to get the basis of what I think I need down. I think what I might do for over here is that I'll make winged headphones instead. Think of it kind of like a magnet, except instead of butterfly wings, it's more feathered wings. Okay, yeah, I need to redraw the eyes because that is wonky. You'd think I know how to draw my own face by now, but it's still difficult. And on that note, Repairman, I'd like to say I don't know how you deal with having two characters that have like long noses. Long noses and beaks are still very difficult for me to do. And yet here I am with a beak. But I guess I love my bird features too much. Should probably put some sort of number on there. You can finally keep your Sona decent. And also, welcome back, Shezbeth. Nice to see you again. And Alpha, hi. I know you can't stay long, Alpha. I wish you luck at the convention. E1 Alpha is a wonderful artist as well. He's primarily a digital artist with his own OCs. And he mostly streams those on Twitch. Just a quick shout out for him. With all these outfits, you're gonna have me making art of you at some point, which may or may not be good news depending on the art. I know what type of art you make. But honestly, I welcome any fan art, be it of Hikari Harpy or of any of the Snapdragon Club characters. I'd love to see it. So if you ever decide to make fan art, please feel free to like at me on Tumblr or like send me a link on Tumblr. Like, I don't have a Twitter or anything else, so Tumblr is probably the easiest way to show me. I have my links to the Hikari UCR Tumblr on my channel, so that would be the easiest way. I already saw someone, I believe it's one of my latest subscribers who did a very adorable art of Dolly, and that was amazing. And Haruo also does amazing art as well. He's done one of, or not even just one. He's done a few of Bakshi, I believe, because you know he is Precious Bee Sun. You can stay a fair amount. Just got back from setting up the booth. Any fan art, dangerous words around me. I know what I'm allowing. We've had this talk before. I'm gonna go back to drawing my role model and friends. I will be lurking, but I will be talking occasionally. Yes, still thank you very much for stopping by. And thank you for lurking as well. That goes for anyone who's here but hasn't spoken. Even if you haven't spoken, I'm still happy you're here. And I'm still very grateful to have you guys hanging out with us. But yeah, I believe I have just about everything. I still want to add maybe like a little number on the chest area here, but I still need to pick out which number I want to put. Let's see. Maybe I'll put a 13 here. Because who knows? Is it unlucky of me to be the last of the creators? Or is it some sort of strange gift? But either way, it is time for inking. You'd run it by me. Yes. That is basically what you told me last time we spoke about this. So I know you're the respectable slime. coloring and inking is one of the worst parts for you to do? Honestly, it really depends. At least for me, it does. Like, for instance, if I'm trying to, like, develop concepts for something, then I really like doing sketches just because it means I don't have to, like, commit to anything. They can all just be scratchy lines, all sorts, everywhere, every which way. And I won't have to commit to anything up until I'm ready to ink and color. Which is why, when it comes to streaming my art, I usually, like, prepare my sketches beforehand. So that way I don't have to think as hard in terms of, like, coming up with designs and ideas. Because that can be a little bit difficult when multitasking, speaking to you guys. And also making sure that, you know, audio quality is good and everything is, like, visually going well. And then once I have, you know, a sketch that I like, then it just becomes a matter of, okay, if I'm doing line art, am I just doing it one color like I'm doing it right now? Or do I want to get super fancy with it and use different colors depending on where I'm coloring? And if you've seen any of my past streams when I was coloring my comic, you might have seen that for a lot of panels, at least for the latest ones that I did line art. I did, like, variations of all sorts of colored line art because, one, I like how, like, soft it makes the colors at the very end of it, but I also like that it sort of color codes what colors I plan to fill into which sections. Because sometimes that can happen too if I'm doing line art in one single color, is that I'll do it all one color like this, and then I'll be like, wait, I meant to color this other color, not that. As you can see, like with this eye here, for instance, I did not mean to color that side of the eye completely black. That was supposed to have been red. But I just ran with it. And luckily it still looks pretty decent enough like that. But that is one of the hazards for me when it comes to doing line art in a single color when I'm not thinking. Because that's another thing I do. If I'm just inking or coloring, generally that's my autopilot mode. That's when I'm going, okay, just fill it in, fill it in, fill it in. line art and coloring are best for me digitally. It's when it starts looking like a real piece. To be honest, coloring really is faster digitally because all you have to do is like single clicks. And assuming, everything is just completely sectioned off as it should be, then all you have to just do is click and then you have a base coat on. Easy. At least that's how it should be. Sometimes it's just not that, and then you'll end up filling out an entire section that you didn't mean to color, and then it's like, where's that hidden, gap in the line art that's making the art program think it should go that way. You do the same thing when you draw at cafes. Yeah. Still don't understand why people say my line art and coloring is so clean and crisp. Don't hate it, but I only see messy lines and very fast rendering. Well, I think that's because you have those down to a science. So it just feels that much more more effortless for you. I can speak. I promise I can speak. Or at the very least, I'm learning to. That's why I'm streaming. When doing physical, though, I'm really enjoying using a mix of colored pencils and watercolor markers. Oh, yes. Yes, that's a pretty golden combination, I think. I've seen that combination as well as, alcohol markers with color pencils. And yeah, it's just sometimes mixed media is the way to go, but that's the thing about physical media in general is that you can get so many variations in textures and also a variation of experiences when it comes to the coloring process. Like, you have to do, like, it's not doing the same, like, sort of movements as you would in any other medium. That it's like for watercolors, you have to put down one layer for, or like a very, very sort of pastel layer. And then if you want it to be more or saturated, then you wait for it to dry, then you add another layer, and then another and another until you get it the right color that you want. And then with alcohol markers, it's like you can get the color that you want almost immediately, but also if you want it to like smoothly blend, you have to work fast. Otherwise, you're going to end up more with a cel-shaded look. Random things for odd supplies are your favorite. High school taught you to survive off the cheap random things. Honestly, yeah. Like, getting creative just with what you draw with is also pretty fun. Like, especially when you're bored in class, because, let's be honest, if you have your work done, or you've got your notes done, and there's nothing for you to do, they're just like rehashing or going over things you already know, then there's sometimes you just gotta stay awake in class, Like, pay attention. Pay attention if you need to, but if you're just need to stay awake, then a little doodle on the margin doesn't hurt. Lead pencils are a safe haven. I mean, You're talking about mechanical pencils? Because, yeah. I use these, like, probably a lot more often than I do use normal wooden pencils. But I have both. I'm slowly going through them, though. Slowly going through them. Shout out to Whiteout. Yes, of course. It's like before we had proper white gel pens for highlights or any other effects, we had Whiteout. I suppose I do have rendering down pat. If you were to check my CSP files, my shading and lighting are always sorted and named in the exact way. Smooth blending, vastly prefer the soft color pencils, which is very fair. Like, whenever I played with color pencils, like, I've gotten some really nice blending and, you know, shading with those once I figured out which ones like to play nice with each other. Need to get you one of those white gel pens. So the one I'm currently using is the Signo Uniball one. And this was recommended to me as a pretty decent one. And as you can see, like, it definitely does its job pretty well. I did it for the white dots on the red markings, or the little red gems on the armor here. And I also did it to sort of edit the left eye, since I accidentally colored within the pupil a bit. I think I have the line art pretty much done. Now I'm gonna have to figure out how to color this. Which, for some parts I have a decent idea. Depends are underrated. I mean, I'm sure they are, and I've seen people do wonderful things with them. I, however, am still very much a novice when it comes to using those tools. So unfortunately, I don't use those. I don't know if it's because I haven't been using the right ones, but honestly, at this point, I don't have much room to dabble as much as I used to. So I'll just use this as a quick moment to mention I have a Patreon and a Ko-fi. And if you have the means to, then any little donation will have a little pop-up happen in the stream. And if you don't feel like just plain donating, I do have stickers in the shop based on my Snapdragon Club characters. There is the Grand Opening set, which these two are from, and there is also the Hunter's Tale set. But again, only do so if you have the means to. Otherwise, just you viewing and sharing the streams and videos and the channel, as well as my links to my Patreon and Ko-fi, are very much appreciated. Also, I think I have it set up with Streamlabs so that hopefully, if you are a new person and you end up subscribing, it should hopefully have a little thing pop up. But if it doesn't, then feel free to mention you're a new subscriber if you want to be shouted out. Honestly, this might give Kasane Teto vibes. Depend noob. Well, uh, the stickers are cute. Thank you. You did link to my Tumblr on the site. Yeah, that's all right. Thank you very much for feeling generous enough to put me on your webcomic site. That means a lot. So yeah, for those who don't know, Fourth Wall Repairman has a webcomic called Dungeon Smalls that I've been keeping up with. And so far it's really cute and funny. Yeah, you're welcome. Just want to make sure that every artist I know has a good chance. Like, Haruo's online shop as well. Hmm. So I think how I want to do this is I'll go for a more lighter gray here for the skirt. And then just do the warm gray. Alright. I think this one is all done. Not a bad spread, if I don't say so myself. Harpy from the near future. I mean, that is very easily something that I could turn my PNGtuber into, but I'd rather not at the very moment, just because it is a little bit of a pain to swap. But yeah, I'm gonna see what I can do with these little guys, because I kinda like how they are, and who knows, maybe by next stream you guys might see them bouncing around. But then again, I am a little busy cooking up next stream, which, you know what, I'll go ahead, for those of you who have stuck around for this long, I'll give a quick sneak peek as to what I have in mind. It's a tier list. So for anyone who is a fan of Fantasy Life or Fantasy Life I, the girl who steals time, you might wanna come by next stream. But with that being said, I think I'm going to call today's stream here, so that hopefully I can have everything prepared for next stream. I have so many different projects that I'm doing in the background, and I don't want to announce most of them just in case, because they are going to take a while to even get started, let alone be ready to show. So Fantasy Life is a video game that's basically just, it's very story driven. You play as whatever you want, and I'll have more to say about it next stream. So thank you everyone who has stopped by, including anyone who has watched the VOD all the way through. Thank you very much for stopping by. One last little bit of shill. My Patreon is also linked in my channel page. So is my Ko-fi. And once again, the stickers. Still very much up on sale, only on the Ko-fi page. If you go and become a patron, and if you are high enough Patreon, you can get your name in the description of the streams. But yeah, otherwise, if you're not able to do those, feel free to subscribe and share the videos and streams. And I hope to see you all next week. Fridays at 10 a.m. Alright. Thank you, and goodbye. Bye-bye.